Hey everyone, so I want to talk about a video I watched the other day. It was one of Paul Chek's videos, and it was called The Hidden Gifts of Lyme Disease. And for those of you who don't know who Paul Chek is, he's basically a corrective exercise guru, nutrition guru, and just overall has an interesting philosophy on life in general. And I was watching this video, and it sounds kind of a messed up message is Lyme disease is a good thing, apparently. But that wasn't what it was about. It was about injuries and disease and what they do to us. And so the premise of it was that an injury or some kind of setback brings us more to the present. It brings us a higher state of consciousness. When we get injured, all we try to figure out is how can I heal myself? How can I make this better? We don't care about our work or our other petty things that we have to do. We care about getting better. If someone's diagnosed with cancer, they don't. All those other things go out the window. All that matters is surviving at that point. And that heightened state of consciousness is really comes back to a question of how can I love myself better, and which is I thought was a really interesting concept. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I recently had an injury myself, and it's really brought me back, snapped me back to say, hey, take a look at yourself. What are you doing? How can you love yourself, take care of yourself better? So how I hurt my neck actually was I wrestled with a college wrestler and some high school wrestlers, and then I went into the gym and I decided I wanted to do some pull-ups, and I was just doing some weighted pull-ups with just like a 40-pound weight and nothing crazy, not the heaviest I've ever gone. And I was doing some pull-ups, good form, not doing anything crazy, and I got this pain in my neck, and I jumped down. I was moving my neck around. I was like, man, what the hell's going on? It's weird. And sure enough, when I flexed my neck, I had pain. And that's bad for those of you who don't know what that means. When you flex the spine, if you have a disc bulge, the disc will bulge posteriorly. It means out the back. And we're not exactly sure whether it's a bulge. I may have sprained my supraspinous ligament, or it might be a strain of the longus colli muscle. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It was actually really great. It was a really good injury for me because it allows me to relate to my clients better who have back injuries or neck injuries, and it's a very minor one. It's not bothering me very much, and it's going to be taken care of. But it's strange to say that this injury was one of the best things that's happened to me. And usually we're very upset and remorseful about our injuries, and we're pissed, and why me? And that's usually how I react, is why me? Am I ever going to be able to lift again? And I become afraid of it. But this is one that I really embraced. And Paul also brought up another interesting point, is that when we're happy and we're healthy and things are going our way, we can be loving and caring. But when things aren't going our way, are we going to be that way? And if we're only happy when things are going our way, we're not truly happy. We're just being a child. It's a childish thing that only when you get your way are you going to be happy. And so I just thought that was an interesting way to look back at myself and say, hey, am I really happy? And it allowed me to look at myself and say, what do you have besides your lifting? Because I had gotten this ego lifting. I'm picking up a ton of weights, and I like it. I'm getting stronger every week. And I knew that went against my teachings. I have the choices, and I knew my choices I could make. I could make the optimal choice, the indifferent choice, or the suboptimal. Optimal would be to do my corrective exercise. Indifferent would be to make no change, and suboptimal would be to do the opposite. And I decided that I was going to do the opposite. I was going to take my gross mover muscles, my big powerful muscles, and make them way stronger than my fine stabilizer muscles. And sure enough, I paid for it. And coincidentally, about this time last year, I was taking my first corrective exercise course with Mark Stone, and he said at least one time a year you need to spend time doing stability work. And as strong as you ever get, you need to do it. And I was like, nah, screw that. I don't need that crap. I I'm good. And you want to know what? He was 100% right. And so I made a suboptimal choice and I paid for it, but it actually ended up being a great thing. So, sometimes making bad choices aren't a terrible thing, and injuries can actually turn out to be a great thing. And so, I just want to leave you guys with that thought in your head about how injury can bring you back to the present and make you think about what you're doing and how I can make myself better. All right, you guys have a good night.